Read about the word created several times. It's kind of interesting how you see that word on each occasion. In chapter 2, verse 10, for we are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works. You know, here, God's the creator, and each time it speaks of what He's created. In this case, it's a challenge because it says we're His workmanship. Then in chapter 2, verse 15, he says, by abolishing the law of commandments expressed in ordinances, that He might create in Himself one new man in the place of two, so making peace. The next verse, it might reconcile us both to God in one body through the cross, thereby killing the hostility. There, this idea of create, connected with the one body, the church, where God is now unified, both Jew and Gentile. Then you find it in chapter 3, verse 9, where he says, and to bring to light for everyone what is the plan of the mystery hidden for ages in God, who created all things. And we get back to that and we think, okay, that's how I remember created. God created all things. And then the last time is chapter 4, verse 24. And in chapter 4, verse 24, he says, and to put on the new self, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. You know, I think every one of these is significant, from the idea of He created all things to the fact that He's created us as one body, unifying Jew and Gentile, to the fact that we're His workmanship. But if somebody says, what to you personally is the most challenging, it's this chapter 4, verse 24. And put on the new self, created. It's talking about us. And then he says, created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. Now that's a challenge indeed if I live that out. Created after the likeness of God in true righteousness and holiness. You know, I'd like just to close with that thought. So how are you doing in being created after the likeness of God? If we could assist you in your obedience tonight in baptism or a need for prayer, we ask that you'd come as we stand and sing.